Hello and welcome to day one of the 5-day email challenge. Today, we are going to be going through the strategy workbook to give you more insights into how an interactive diagnostic assessment would be structured, and also for you to refine your own approach to how you want to create this funnel. So, I'm going to share the strategy workbook. You would have all received an email containing a link to this and a link to this video. So, go back to that email, click on that link, and then you'll see the strategy workbook that I'm going to share with you. That is right here. So if you see here, this is a workbook. What we've done is there are some questions on the left that you have to answer. Here is where all of your responses go. So it'll help you get set up for the next 3-4 days. And to make it easy for you, we've all given you certain examples of what other diagnostic assessments may look like. So hopefully, I'll walk through this with you today, and then it'll be much easier for you to fill this out quickly and get ready for day two. So first thing to do is okay. So for those of you who missed the day zero video, this is what you're looking at. So if you're generating a wheel of life, this is what your wheel of life looks like, right? And this is what your um, business assessment looks like, where you're asking people to, where you're assessing their business storytelling results. So we'll create a similar model here. So the first thing that we need to do is, which always helps, is to reiterate what your core audience is. Who is your audience? So it should be not too broad, not too narrow. It should, you'll feel it. You'll see when it's right for you. For example, here the title here is Adults with Midlife Crisis, or Technology Leaders in Corporations, or Aspiring Writers of Non-Fiction Books, if you're a book coach, or parents of teenagers, if you're someone who's helping them with parenting. So these are typical audiences. You can define the audience as you like it, and but the important thing is to have it down so you have it on the top of your mind as you're going through the next 3 or 4 days, so you don't go back and forth, and you can complete the challenge effectively and get ready for day 6. The next important thing to do is to jot down where you can find them. So, this is where a lot of our efforts at promotion or, advertising or promotion or outreach, they will use this data, right? So we'll use this data point. Where can you find it? So here's some examples again. These guys can be found on Facebook or career sites. Industry professionals can obviously be found on LinkedIn or industry events or Twitter or any other, so you're an expert at your audience, where they are found. There's no right, there doesn't have to be perfect. You start with something and then obviously you evolve as you see the results. Now, this is where you note down the top pain areas. This is essentially going towards why you are helping this segment. This is not the topic of this challenge, but it helps you put it in the context of that overall offer that you're taking to them. So technology coaches might help the technology, might jot down some pain areas as these, and for example, if you coach parents, then you might be listing down some of these pain areas that they face. So it just helps you reiterate some of these things. And the final the most important thing here for this assessment is, what is our offer to help them, right? So what do you help them with their pain areas? What do you help them with? And the next one is, what is the topic of my lead magnet going to be? So you may help them with an overall process of self-discovery, prioritizing things, leading to a fulfilled life. Or you could be helping technology professionals, build a modern technology strategy for their enterprise. But that's the end goal. That's your overall offer. That's what you're helping them with. But for the diagnostic assessment, you'll come up with a small sliver of that and create it as a hook. So, for example, for folks in the technology space, what's your technology maturity score? It gets your audience curious, gets them to engage with you, take the assessment, provide you their email address, and then you can start engaging with them and taking them through a journey of where you are now, where would you like to be, and then how could we work together? Are we right for each other? And you have all those conversations with them. Essentially, that's it. It's a very powerful technique. Obviously, this is very different from what your overall offer is. It's a small piece of your offer because it's going to be very difficult for you to take your entire offer and convert and make a lead magnet out of it. There's a small portion, just gets them curious, gets them to start engaging with you, get them feeling that, yes, this is a profitable relationship. I'm getting something back in return. It's not that you're just marketing, they're not marketing to me. So you can return value immediately to your prospects, to your audience. So that said, these are the first 4 or 5 things that are most important. So spend a few minutes on each of these, try to figure this out. And then the next thing that you'll do is give it a little bit more shape. And you can keep doing it over the next 2 or 3 days. So it's not that you need to nail down everything right now, but as much draft as you can put in today is going to help. So typically the length of such an assessment is good between 5 and 10, 12 questions. Shorter than this, it doesn't really portray seriousness. It just looks like a gimmick. More than that, it becomes too much. People abandon it. You're asking too much information in that case. People get uncomfortable or they just get bored answering all these questions because ultimately they just want to get to the results quickly, with a reasonable analysis, just to see what you have to say about it. What new do you have to say about it? So 5 to 8 questions. We've given you some examples here of what they could be. Typically, try to cover different things around that problem statement. So, what's your technology maturity score? For example, we ask them, are your business users happy with you? Have you adopted the cloud? What methodology do you follow, etc., etc. For someone who's writing a book, you would say, hey, do you have an idea for a book? Do you know who you want to help with your book? How much of an expert are you? So that gives them a readiness score which they want to know. Everybody wants to know, okay, I want to write a book, but let me see how ready I am to write a book. And then you can help them, give them the score, and then hopefully take them on that journey. Finally, you come up with these outcomes. So at the end of the assessment, of course, you'll give them some outcomes. So these outcomes should be neutral or positive. You don't want to give them a "you suck" kind of a score. That doesn't. That'll. I don't know. Just give them something positive or neutral. So, for example, you're top notch, you're evolving, or you're at the initial level. Here it is. You're ready to write a book. You're on the fence right now, or maybe you're not ready yet. So it's not negative, but it's neutral. um, and then you give them your post-assessment offer, the immediate offer, like what are you going to do once they take the assessment? This feeds into your offer that you give them to engage with them. So hey, if you scored top notch, looks like you're doing really well, let me run a more detailed diagnostic for you to confirm it. How about that, right? And give them some insights. Like 20% of the people who scored top notch said that this could have been a problem for them. So is that a problem for you? So now you can use your assessment in many different ways, the results in many different ways to start engaging with them in a personalized conversation. Similarly, similarly for the aspiring writers, if they're ready, then you say, hey, let me help you analyze your plan once again to see if you have any blind spots, and you can share some insights with them. Even if you feel you're ready, have you considered this? Have you considered that advertising costs so much money, like et cetera, and what are you going to do after you publish your book? How are you going to monetize the book, etc. So your subject area the best, but these are some examples to just get your get your creative juices flowing on how you might want to take your offer, your overall offer, how you might want to create a small portion of it, create it as a curiosity builder to engage your prospects in, and then at the same time give them significant amount of value as part of the output, and then start engaging with them with being ready with what would I offer this person at the end of this assessment so that I can take them on this journey and ultimately engage them with my overall offer. So that's essentially the workbook that you'll have to do. This is the homework for today. You don't have to be perfect at this. Try to do as much as you can. The assessment can obviously be modified. It's not like you're publishing an ebook, so you'll have to publish it again. You can, edit your workbook or assessment over the next 5 days. Even after you publish it, you can edit your assessment. There's no pressure on you to get everything right. In fact, you'll create your assessment, you'll send it to a couple of people, then you'll say, oops, these things are not looking right. Let me change them. So that's going to happen. So don't try to be too perfect. Just try to be good enough. Let's get it out there in the hands of your audience, maybe a few friendly audiences, friendly people, and they can give you some feedback, and then you can refine it and go from there. So that's it. What's your core audience? Where can you find them? What are the top 10 areas? What's your overall offer? What do you want to create as a lead magnet? And then define the lead magnet and what do you want to do after this one. So essentially very simple. Download this spreadsheet, put it on Google Docs or use it if you have Microsoft Office. And and any questions, just send us an email, and then we'll get back in touch and we'll help you as you need, if you need it. Okay, so see you tomorrow, day 2. Bye.